Hey, good morning, boys and girls. Happy Thursday or Friday, depending on which day you have English for me this week. So if you're on schedule, today should be April 16th or April 17th. All right, and I'll make sure I start all of my videos with the dates. So if you ever get lost and have to go back and look at some old dates, feel free. Here they are. So happy April 16th or 17th, everybody, depending on which day you're logging into English. Tuesday's and Wednesday's video and Monday's link had us talking about what is theme, and that's something we're going to continue to learning in here for the next couple of weeks. So if you think you understand it already, you're definitely ahead of the game, and I'm thrilled that you think you understand theme already. To review from Tuesday or Wednesday, remember what theme is, right? Another way to say theme from an author or a text that we read would be the moral that the author was giving us, the message the author was giving us, what words to live by are you left with, and what do you think is a life lesson that you learned from that text. Theme is not, remember, theme is not. You cannot mention a character's name. It cannot, or mention a person's name, and it cannot be one word. Words like education, technology, love, friendship, schooling, and so on and so forth. Those are topics. And like I mentioned Tuesday and Wednesday, some websites and some internet sites do teach theme wrong. So you want to make sure that you're never, ever, ever saying that a theme of any text that we have here is one word. All right, so let's take a look at some examples. I tried to rack my brain and think of some stories that we've read as a class, back in the good old days, September through the beginning of March, that we read in room 318. Remember Bad Robot? Remember Bad Robot? Bonnie has a new contraption of Earl, and it really doesn't go well as planned. So if I'm thinking of a theme, a life lesson, a moral that I learned from Bad Robot, I know I can't mention a character's name. So what I said was, new technology can often be more powerful than we ever imagined. And that's a theme that I took away from Bad Robot. She never knew Earl was going to be as powerful and as chaotic as he was. So that's a theme that I took away from that. You may have taken away something different, another moral or life lesson, and that is totally okay. We're going to speak about that in a second. How about the third wish with Leita, right? And we can't mention Leita, and we can't mention her husband's name. So what I took from that is what our main character did throughout the story. And I said a theme that I took away from Third Wish is putting someone else first before you is a sign of true love. And we know that Mr. Peters did that throughout the story. Even having a wish left over when he still didn't need to use it because he was so in love with Leita. Okay? And that's a life lesson. That's a moral that I took away from those two stories. Okay? If you can come up with something different and you left each one of those stories with something that's not exactly as mine, that is totally okay. And my next slide, I guess I should say, my piece of paper, is to remind you that theme comes from you. Theme is created by the reader, that's all of us, not the author. And that's the cool thing in English class, is that I have 101 students, and guess what? As long as they make sense, as long as you can prove it from the text, we can have 101 different themes. As long as they're middle school level and they're life lessons or morals that you took away from the story, it's all correct. We know that's not all the same like that in science and math and social studies. Sometimes when a teacher asks you a question, there's only one right answer. That's the cool thing about being an English teacher, is that I can end up with 101 different answers, and they all can be right. So boys and girls, remember, theme comes from you, not from the author. Okay? Can you have more than one theme? Of course. Some larger pieces of literature, some larger lengths of cinema can have multiple themes in the same text or cinema. One of my favorites movies and trilogies and books of all time is The Hunger Games, right? So when I'm thinking of themes that I need to pull away from The Hunger Games, I know I can't have one word, right? I know I can't say government. I know I can't say women. I know right? I can't say Katniss Everdeen, right? I can't mention a character's name. So 2 themes that I came up with here from the Hunger Games, and there's probably dozens. I said always stand up for what you believe in. And I also said all change begins with one voice or one decision. And these are from me. I came up with these on the top of my head. I sat and thought for a little bit. Can't find these online anywhere. I'm sure there's better and bigger, better ones out there online, but these are ones that Mr. Olsen, I was the reader, I was the viewer of the movie, and those are themes that I come up with. Can you come up with some of your own? Yes, and those are the themes that you pulled away from your experience with the Hunger Games. Okay. Before I let you go today, I won't keep you anything longer. I want you to think, when you come up with a wonderful middle school level theme for a text or a piece of literature, think of 2 things first. Okay. First thing is, if you found it on the side of the highway on a billboard, would that make sense? Think about that. Motivational quotes, life lessons, morals. If somebody spent money and put them on a billboard, would that make sense? And second, is it something you would want to walk around with printed on a t-shirt? Some type of motivational quote or life lesson or something to think of. Okay? So besides moral life lesson, words to whiz by, is it type of some motivational life quote to live by? Okay? All right. That's enough on theme today. I will not take up any more of your time. Remember to continue to check in every Monday for Mindful Mondays. Make sure you're clicking yes, I was here on attendance. And for those of you, whether it's Thursday or Friday, I hope you found today's video just as easy as Tuesdays and Wednesdays was. Have a wonderful weekend. If you have any questions about theme, you can email me at any time. Go back, pause the video, whatever you need to do to make this as easy as possible. Boys and girls, 4th quarter has begun. Hope we're understanding theme. I'm trying my best to make it as easy as possible. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody. I will see you after the weekend. See you next week. Bye, boys and girls.